Chapter 1478. The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect was definitely an overlord in the Tsang Prefecture. He was someone who could shake the entire Tsang Prefecture with a stomp of his foot. He was someone who was on par with the Valley Master of the Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming stepped forward and cupped his fists. Junior Lu Ming greets Senior. The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect revealed a faint smile and said, "Little guy, you're quite strong. You actually managed to cultivate the chaotic domain. That's rare." "Thank you, Senior, for your compliment." Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect nodded and looked at Xian Yinqing with a doting look. "Young people, I won't object to you dating each other." The Sky Universe Demon Sect master's tone suddenly changed as he said, "However, all of you are still in the golden age of cultivation. You should prioritize your cultivation. Although all of your talents are not bad, your cultivation is too low. In the vast Yuan land, it's nothing. Without cultivation, you won't be able to truly possess freedom. Little guy, do you understand?" Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and he said, "Junior understands." Also, Nianqing has the innate demon body. She's peerless, but because of that, there are many people who covet her. With your current cultivation, you're too weak. Can you protect Nianqing? The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect continued. Lu Ming frowned slightly. The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect's meaning was obvious. His cultivation was too weak. "Master, Lu Ming and I have been through life and death situations together. I believe that Lu Ming will definitely rise. He won't let others hurt me," Xian Yanqing said. "Silly boy, you're too naive. How can the Divine Wilderness continent be compared to the Yuan continent?" The sect master of the Sky Universe Demon Sect said. "But, Master," Xian Yanqing wanted to say more. "Nianqing." Lu Ming interrupted Xian Yanqing and said, "Nianqing, Senior is right. The Yuan continent is countless times larger than the Divine Wilderness continent. My cultivation level is indeed too low in the Yuan continent, so I can't give you too much of a guarantee. However, I will definitely work hard to cultivate. When I reach the clouds one day, I will truly be free and unfettered in the world. So Nianqing, you should cultivate well in the Sky Universe Demon Sect. In the future, I'll travel the world with you." This was what Lu Ming truly felt. Ever since he had come to the Yuan continent, Lu Ming had realized how insignificant he was. In the Divine Desolate continent, a martial emperor was a high and mighty overlord. However, in the Yuan continent, martial emperors were the most common existence. They could even be said to be ants. True experts were as common as clouds in the Yuan continent. Lu Ming had even seen a true great emperor before. That was truly terrifying. Only by reaching the pinnacle of the world could one truly be free and unfettered in the world, and not be controlled by others. At this moment, Lu Ming was filled with heroic spirit. His goal wasn't the Sage Realm or even the Great Emperor Realm, but the pinnacle of the world. An indescribable confidence flowed out from Lu Ming's body. What an arrogant young man. "I'll wait for the day when you reach the clouds. Go." The Sky Universe Demon Sect master waved his hand and said, "Master, I'd like to send Lu Ming off." Xian Yanqing said, "All right." The Sky Universe Demon Sect master nodded and took a step forward, disappearing from sight. "Lu Ming." Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming with a trace of reluctance in her eyes. "Silly girl, I'm here to see you. After seeing you, I'm going to leave. I can't possibly stay in the Sky Universe Demon Sect forever." Lu Ming held Xian Yanqing's hand and laughed. Moreover, the Sky Universe Demon Sect isn't far from the Divine Dragon Valley. If I have time, I'll come and see you again. Lu Ming continued. Xian Yanqing nodded gently and held Lu Ming's hand as they walked out of the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Very soon they were out of the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect. Xian Yanqing was still reluctant to part with Lu Ming. She wanted to send Lu Ming for a while longer. Just like that, the two of them strolled in the air at a steady pace. Just like that, half a day passed. "Xiaoqing, you should go back. If you continue to send me off, we'll reach the Divine Dragon Valley," Lu Ming said with a smile. "Lu Ming, don't blame Master. Xian Yanqing said softly, but before she could finish her words, Lu Ming had already pressed his lips against hers. The two of them hugged each other tightly as if they were about to fuse together. After more than 10 minutes, the two of them finally separated. "You don't have to say anything. I know that you have to trust me. I'll definitely dominate this world in the future. When that time comes, no one will stop us." Lu Ming smiled and took out a black bracelet for Xian Yinqing to wear. It was the bracelet that Lu Ming had obtained from the great emperor's mystic realm. "A sacred weapon?" Xian Yinqing muttered as her eyes reddened. "Silly girl, go back. I'm leaving." Lu Ming kissed Xian Yinqing's forehead and turned to leave. "Lu Ming, I'll also work hard on my cultivation. When you're at the peak, I'll accompany you." A faint voice could be heard as Xian Yinqing turned around and headed back to the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Swoosh! Lu Ming extended his body and broke through the void, allowing the wind to blow on his face. "I'll definitely dominate the world in the future," Lu Ming roared, his voice echoing for thousands of miles. It would be a lie to say that he felt comfortable during his trip to the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Forget about the younger generation. In the end, even Xian Yinqing's master had appeared. Although his words were not sharp, his attitude was obvious. Lu Ming was too weak and was not worthy of Xian Yinqing. He had to stay away from Xian Yinqing as much as possible. This was the Sky Universe Demon Sect's master's intention. Before coming to Yuanlu, Lu Ming had not expected that Xian Yinqing would be chosen by the Sky Universe Demon Sect's master and be accepted as a prodisciple. She had even become the saintess of the Sky Universe Demon Sect. As a result, there were some disturbances between them. Lu Ming held back his anger. However, he also knew that the Sky Universe Demon Sect's master was right. His cultivation was still too weak. Now that he was with Xian Yinqing, he couldn't be free and unfettered. If a martial emperor at the peak of the martial king realm coveted Xian Yinqing, what could he do? Strength, everything still depended on strength. He needed to be strong. Ever since he had established the Dragon Alliance, dominated the Divine Wilderness continent, and killed De, Lu Ming had relaxed a little. Although his pursuit of the martial Dao had not changed, he did not feel as pressured as before. Without pressure, he lacked the courage to move forward. Now there was another strong pressure coming from his body. Whoosh! Lu Ming cut through the void and moved forward rapidly. He passed by the vast land in a flash, heading in the direction of the Divine Dragon Valley. Suddenly Lu Ming's heart tightened. He felt a strong sense of danger. Without hesitation, black wings appeared on Lu Ming's back and wrapped around Lu Ming. Whoosh! In the sky, a demonic saber seemed to break through the heavens and earth as it slashed toward Lu Ming. Clang! The demonic saber slashed the black wings. Lu Ming felt as if he had been hit by a mountain and was sent flying. After flying for tens of thousands of meters, Lu Ming stabilized his body and spat out a mouthful of blood. Sky Universe Demon Sect. Lu Ming's eyes were like lightning. Chapter 1479. 6 figures with terrifying auras intertwined with one another, sealing off Lu Ming's escape route. 5 7th-layer martial dominators and 1 6th-layer martial dominator. Lu Ming's eyes widened. One of them was a young man with long hair and a demonic saber on his back. He looked like a young demon god with a ferocious aura. He was a 6th-layer martial dominator. As for the other 5, their appearances could not be seen clearly as they were covered in a pitch-black demonic glow. Their terrifying auras soared into the sky. These 5 people were all 7th-layer martial dominators. The Empyrean Demon Sect really thinks highly of me. Lu Ming stared at the young man with sharp eyes. That saber strike just now was from this young man. He was a terrifying genius. You think you can leave after injuring a genius of the Empyrean Demon Sect and blaspheming our saintess? You're too naive. The young man spoke with a cold, murderous intent. Hee, the Empyrean Demon Sect is one of the top 13 factions in the Tsang continent. Is this all you've got? You're sending experts to hunt me down because you can't defeat your peers? Lu Ming let out a hollow laugh. Since you're dead, no one will know about this. The young man's face remained cold and calm. He took a step forward toward Lu Ming. Each step he took caused a powerful pressure to press down on Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. His mind was spinning rapidly as he thought of a way to escape. Lu Ming, I'll give you a chance. Give me your cultivation technique, and I might spare your life. The young man spoke with a hint of greed in his eyes. He had witnessed the battle between Lu Ming and Jin Yu at the Empyrean Demon Sect. Lu Ming had defeated Jin Yu's 5th grade domain with a 2nd grade domain. He was curious about Lu Ming's cultivation technique to have such a terrifying domain. Oh, you want my cultivation method? Sure, but tell me one question. Who sent you here? Lu Ming asked. The young man's eyes flashed. Then he sneered. I'm the one who wants to kill you. All right, speak. Kill. At this time, Lu Ming suddenly roared and charged at the youth. His black wings flapped, bringing with them a gust of wind that swept towards the youth. His 2 wings were like 2 heavenly blades that slashed at the youth. You're courting death, the young man said coldly. The demonic saber on his back did not leave its scabbard. Instead, he used his palm as a saber and slashed out. A shocking demonic blade appeared and slashed forward. Dong. The demonic saber slashed at the black wings, causing them to vibrate violently. Lu Ming's body retreated like a cannonball. His blood and qi were in turmoil, and fresh blood flowed out of his mouth. Without a doubt, this young man was a top-notch Heaven's favorite with shocking battling capabilities. Although his cultivation was only at the 6th-layer martial dominator realm, his strength could easily kill a 7th-layer martial dominator, or even an 8th-layer martial dominator. Lu Ming was no match for him. Don't attack. Seal off the area. I'll kill him, said the young man coldly. He stepped forward and closed in on Lu Ming. Whoosh. The young man lashed out with his palm, causing a terrifying demonic saber to slash at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's glabella shone and a shield appeared. It became extremely large and blocked in front of him. Clang. The demonic saber slashed at the shield, causing it to vibrate violently. The shield and Lu Ming were both sent flying by the impact. Sacred weapon, another sacred weapon. You have quite a lot of treasures on you. Unfortunately, you're a piece of trash. What a waste of treasures. I'll keep them for you in the future. Remember, the one who killed you is Mo-He from the demon sect. The greed in the young man's eyes grew stronger as his aura grew stronger. He waved his hand, causing the demonic saber to appear on his back. A terrifying saber glow stirred the wind. Attack. Lu Ming suddenly let out a roar. He flapped his wings and charged at Mo-He like a black bolt of lightning. Mo-He's eyes turned cold. He was about to slash out with his saber when a transparent bubble suddenly appeared and enveloped him. His body was frozen in place. 9 seals of the divine gate. Lu Ming let out a low roar. 5 sealed doors appeared around Mo-He and pressed down on him. Break for me. Mo-He roared as his demonic aura erupted. The demonic saber transformed into a shocking saber glow that bombarded the transparent bubble. The transparent bubble rumbled and shook violently. It only lasted for a breath of time before it shattered. As the transparent bubble shattered, the 5 sealed doors pressed down on Mo-He. Slash. Mo-He struggled with all his might. The saber glow tore through the air, and the 5 sealed doors were broken one by one. However, Lu Ming had already appeared not far from Mo-He. Divine Sword Art. Lu Ming shot out 2 rays of black light from his eyes. They were like 2 divine swords that shot into Mo-He's body and into his spiritual spirit. Mo-He's spiritual spirit trembled, and his aura became unstable. Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal. Lu Ming roared. In the sky, a huge primal chaos seal pressed down on Mo-He like an ancient divine mountain, bringing with it terrifying waves of qi. Even Mo-He's pupils shrank. He couldn't ignore this power. Break. Mo-He roared. His entire body seemed to have turned into a demonic saber that soared into the sky. Boom. The primal chaos flipping sky seal collided heavily with the demonic saber, creating a shocking boom. At this moment, time seemed to have frozen. Watch me. Dandan shouted as she flew out. She flew above the primal chaos flipping sky seal, and her body grew rapidly. Dense inscriptions appeared on her body. Her entire body seemed to have turned into a tortoise-shaped mountain that stepped heavily on the primal chaos flipping sky seal. Boom. The weight of the primal chaos flipping sky seal instantly increased. The saber glow that Mo-He had turned into shattered. The primal chaos flipping sky seal continued to press down on Mo-He. Emohi roared as he raised his palms and struck the primal chaos flipping sky seal. Boom. The primal chaos flipping sky seal was penetrated, but Emohi's body also fell like a meteorite because of this force. As Mohertz descended, there was a gap in the encirclement that they had formed around Lu Ming. Chirp chirp. Bubbles chirped as a space-time passage appeared. Lu Ming rushed into the void passage with Dandan and Bubbles, and appeared thousands of miles away. Then he flapped his black wings and flew forward rapidly. Swoosh. Emohi soared into the sky again. His eyes were filled with shocking flames as he roared furiously. Chase after him. Swoosh. 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 Emohi and the other 5 LV7 Martial Royal Realm experts turned into 6 beams of demonic light and chased after Lu Ming. Lu Ming took out a pile of primordial stones and swallowed them to recover his true essence. At the same time, he increased his speed to the maximum and flew away quickly. He knew that the blow just now could not do anything to Emohi at all. Emohi's combat strength was too strong. Just now, it was because Emohi had underestimated his opponent that Lu Ming had taken him by surprise. He had used Dandan and Bubbles to launch a series of attacks. In the end, he had used the primal chaos flipping sky seal, Dandan's power, and the divine sword art to send Emohi flying. However, he should not be able to hurt Emohi. Chapter 1480. 7 streaks of black light streaked across the sky like 7 bolts of lightning. Although Lu Ming had the black wings and the air-frozen bead, he was at a disadvantage because his cultivation was too low. Emohi and the other 5 7th-level Martial Royal Realm experts unleashed their true chi and chased after Lu Ming relentlessly. Soon, they had flown a long distance, but the distance between the two sides did not increase, nor did they get closer. Bubble. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Bubble. The bubble buzzed and opened up a space-time passageway. Lu Ming flew in and appeared thousands of miles away the next moment, widening the distance between them. Damn it, you want to run? It's not that easy. Emohi roared and waved his hand, and a treasure flew out. It was a space-breaking shuttle. As soon as it flew out, it grew in the wind and soon became hundreds of meters long. Get on! Emohi shouted. The other 5 7th-level Martial Royal Realm experts flew onto the space-breaking shuttle. Whoosh! The space-breaking shuttle shone and flew out at an astonishing speed. It was much faster than their flying speed and was quickly approaching Lu Ming. Oh no! Lu Ming's expression changed. The space-breaking shuttle was too fast. It was a tool used by the martial arts experts of the Yuan land to travel. Lu Ming's face was gloomy. He flew with all his strength, but the space-breaking shuttle behind him was still closing in. After a while, Lu Ming had to ask Bubble to open a space-time passage again to increase the distance between the two sides. Boy, let's see how long you can run. In the space-breaking shuttle, Emohi's eyes were cold. Just like that, half a day passed. This can't go on. Lu Ming frowned. If this continued, Bubble would not be able to take it and would run out of energy. When that time came, he would not have a second chance to escape. A large river appeared in front of them. The strange thing was that the water of the river was as black as ink. It was extremely strange. On the other side of the river was a black world. Black soil, black rocks, and even black flowers and trees. Separated by a river, it was like 2 different worlds. It was extremely strange. However, Lu Ming was only taken aback for a moment. He did not stop at all and simply flew over. He flew over the river and flew toward the strange black world. Whoosh! Not long after Lu Ming flew over the river, the space-breaking shuttle appeared, but it did not continue flying. Instead, it stopped in front of the river. Emohi and the other 5 7th-level Martial Royal Realm experts flew out of the space-breaking shuttle. Emohi put the shuttle away. This boy escaped into the Death Wasteland, the first of the 6 forbidden lands. Mo frowned as he looked at the world on the other side of the river, fear and dread in his eyes. The other 5 of the Royal Realm of the Forbidden of the Royal Realm. Of the 6 of the Forbidden of the Forbidden of the Forbidden Land Wasteland. As for the Wasteland of Death, it was even more terrifying. It was the leader of the 6 great forbidden grounds. No one knew when it came into existence, only that it had existed for a very long time. Legend had it that a great emperor had entered the Wasteland of Death a very long time ago, but had eventually retreated in fear. Of the Ming was of danger. Young Master Emohi, what should we do now? A black-robed man asked. Go after him and kill him. If he's alive, I want to see him. If he's dead, I want to see his corpse. Emohi said coldly. He was full of confidence. He had brought 5 7th-level martial royal realm experts to kill Lu Ming. It was supposed to be a foolproof plan. With Lu Ming's cultivation, it was impossible for him to escape. However, Lu Ming had escaped. Moreover, he had escaped from his hands. How was he going to account for this when he returned? Therefore, he hated Lu Ming to the core. He had to kill Lu Ming. Go after him. The faces of the 5 7th-layer martial dominator realm experts turned incredibly unpleasant. Yes, and it's you guys. Hurry up, or I won't be able to see that kid anymore. You guys should know who gave the order this time. If that kid escapes, I'll be fine when I get back, but you guys should know the consequences. Emohi said coldly. The faces of the 5 7th-layer martial royal realm experts darkened. They exchanged glances with one another, before clenching their teeth and turning into 5 demonic rays. They dashed across the river and chased after Lu Ming. Kid, you're just an ant. You should listen to fate and be an ant, but you insisted on coming to the heavenly demonic sect. You're just a toad trying to eat swan meat. I have no choice but to make you disappear. Emohi glanced at the dark world and said coldly. Lu Ming continued to fly at a rapid pace after crossing the river. The terrain below was extremely complicated, filled with potholes and jagged rocks of strange shapes. Furthermore, these rocks were all black in color. Giant ancient trees grew on the ground. However, these ancient trees were completely black. Their trunks and branches were twisted together, resulting in an eerie sight. Furthermore, the further they flew, the larger and taller the trees became. Black ancient trees over a few hundred meters tall could be seen everywhere. At that instant, Lu Ming discovered 5 people chasing after him. These fellows really won't leave me alone. Lu Ming's eyes flickered coldly. In the blink of an eye, they had covered a distance of over 10,000 li. However, they were still in the dark world, which seemed to be boundless. All of a sudden, Lu Ming felt a huge shadow looming over him, causing him to raise his head. With a glimpse, Lu Ming's eyes widened. High up in the sky, an incomparably huge bird had appeared out of nowhere. The giant bird had a strange appearance. It had 2 heads and a pitch-black body. Its eyes were red like burning flames. Most importantly, it was too huge. When it spread its wings, it covered the entire sky like a stormy cloud, shrouding Lu Ming and the 5 7th-layer martial royal realm experts in its shadow. Squawk! The giant eagle uttered a cry all of a sudden. A shocking force burst out from its mouth, encapsulating one of the 7th-layer martial royal realm experts. No, the 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert let out a terrified cry as he lost control of his body and flew toward the giant bird's mouth. Following this, he was swallowed by the giant bird like an ant. Lu Ming was astounded. A 7th-layer martial royal realm expert had no chance against the giant bird, who had been devoured instantly. The giant bird's strength was utterly terrifying. Squawk! The giant bird uttered a cry and scanned Lu Ming and the remaining 4 7th-layer martial royal realm experts with its sharp gaze. Shit! Lu Ming was startled as he immediately dove into the ground. The ground was covered with ancient black trees, which were able to block the giant bird's sight, allowing them to escape. At the same time, the 4 7th-level martial emperors also swooped down and dashed into the ancient black tree behind Lu Ming. As expected, as soon as they dove into the ground, the giant bird uttered a cry and scanned its surroundings. It did not continue its attack, but soared into the sky instead. These guys really don't want to give up. Lu Ming realized that the 4 7th-level martial emperors behind him were still chasing after him. They were running at high speed in the Black Forest. Bang! Chapter 1481. They did not dare to fly in the sky, due to the terrifying presence of the giant bird. They could only run on the ground. The ground here was also extremely strange. It was full of potholes, as if it had been corroded by something. It was extremely strange. Those black ancient trees were rooted in this kind of ground. Behind them, The remaining 4 7th-layer Martial Dominator Realm experts continued to chase after Lu Ming at a shocking pace. Lu Ming had no choice but to flee. With his current strength, he had no chance of winning against a 7th-layer Martial Dominator Realm expert. He might even be killed, let alone 4 7th-layer Martial Dominators. A cry of agony could be heard behind him all of a sudden. Lu Ming subconsciously turned around and saw a 7th-layer Martial Dominator Realm expert stepping on a pile of black mud. The mud immediately emitted a black gas. The expert let out a cry of agony as he was struck by the black gas. Following this, under the astounded gaze of the others, his body was corroded and turned into a pile of mud. "Oh my God, what the hell is this place?" Lu Ming yelled in his heart as his face was covered in a cold sweat. A 7th-layer Martial Dominator Realm expert had died after stepping on a pile of black mud. Lu Ming had also stepped on the same pile of mud. Luckily, he had not stepped on it. This place was full of danger. The remaining 3 7th-layer Martial Dominators wore terrified expressions, but they continued to chase after Lu Ming. There's something wrong with these people. Why are they so desperate and unwilling to give up chasing after me? Lu Ming was confused. If he was jealous of Xian Yinqing and wanted to get rid of him, there was no need for him to be so desperate. He should have stopped long ago in such a dangerous place. Could it be that they were ordered to chase after him by some authority of the heavenly demonic sect? Lu Ming had many thoughts in his mind. Not long after, they had covered a distance of over 1,000 li. The terrain ahead of them became more complicated, with many mountains and valleys. Rumble. Suddenly, a loud explosion could be heard coming from a huge valley. Then, Lu Ming saw a group of majestic black bulls rush out of the canyon and charge towards them. These black bulls had majestic physiques. Most of them were 3 meters tall and 5 meters long. Their bodies were pitch black, as if they were made of iron. Their eyes were blood red, similar to the giant eagle from before. Among them, there were some who were even larger. They were 4 meters tall or even 5 meters tall. Moo, moo. As soon as these black bulls appeared, they roared loudly and spread out, charging towards Lu Ming and the others. Moo. A 3-meter-tall black bull appeared on the right side of Lu Ming. Its 2 horns were like 2 blades as it charged towards Lu Ming. Scram. Lu Ming's body swayed, avoiding the black bull's charge, and punched out. Bang. The punch landed on the black bull's body and sent it flying. The black bull's strength was equivalent to a 1st-layer Martial Dominator Realm cultivator. It had no chance of stopping Lu Ming. It was sent flying a few hundred meters by Lu Ming's punch and slammed into the wall of a mountain. Gravel flew everywhere. Then the black bull shook its head and stood up again. So tough. Lu Ming was shocked. Although he had not used his full strength, an ordinary 1st-layer Martial Dominator would have died after being hit by the punch. However, this black bull seemed to be perfectly fine. Moo, moo. After Lu Ming sent the first black bull flying, 2 more black bulls charged forward. The strength of these 2 black bulls was even more shocking. They had both reached the 2nd-layer Martial Dominator realm. Lu Ming threw out 2 consecutive punches, sending the 2 black bulls flying. However, similar to the previous one, they only shook their heads and stood up as if nothing had happened. Their bones were as tough as steel. Furthermore, there were more black bulls charging out from the valley. At a glance, there were at least 1,000 of them, but there were still more coming out. The weakest among these black bulls was at the 1st-layer Martial Dominator realm. The stronger ones were at the 2nd-layer and 3rd-layer Martial Dominator realm. Lu Ming even saw a 6th-layer Martial Dominator realm cultivator. Rumble. The black bulls stomped on the ground, causing the ground to tremble, as if there was an earthquake. Kill. Piss off. The 3 experts of the Empyrean Demon sect were also fighting against the black bulls. A black saber glow exploded, sending the black bulls flying. The weakest ones finally had their defenses broken and were slashed in half, causing black blood to flow out. Moo, moo. The black bulls became even more furious, as if they were stimulated by the blood. Most of them charged toward the 3 experts of the Empyrean Demon sect. Some of them were at the 6th-layer Martial Dominator realm. The 3 experts of the Empyrean Demon sect joined forces and slowly approached Lu Ming. Bang. Lu Ming was also surrounded by a group of black bulls. The The strongest one among them was at the 5th layer Martial Dominator realm. Bang! Lu Ming lashed out a punch at the head of the 5th layer Martial Dominator realm Black Bull. His body shuddered as he was knocked a few steps backward, feeling his fists going numb. Such a shocking strength. Each of these Black Bulls possessed a shocking strength. Let's go. Lu Ming executed the wind element technique and tapped on the head of one of the Black Bulls, causing his figure to dash forward. However, the Black Bulls did not give up and continued to chase after Lu Ming. Some of the Black Bulls even shot out beams of black light toward Lu Ming from their horns. Lu Ming spread his black wings and blocked the black rays from his back. Moo! At that instant, a shocking roar could be heard coming from a valley, causing the ground to tremble as a giant bull with a shocking physique charged out. This Black Bull was at least 10 meters tall and more than 10 meters long. It was like a small hill, exuding an incomparably shocking aura. Moo! The Black Bull charged toward the 3 experts of the Empyrean Demon Sect as soon as it came out. The 3 experts of the Empyrean Demon Sect were powerful and filled with demonic chi. Naturally, they were more attractive than Lu Ming. Bang! The giant Black Bull kicked the ground and instantly covered a distance of a few thousand meters. It was like a small hill as it charged toward one of the experts. Oh no! The expert's expression changed drastically as he slashed at the giant Black Bull with a shocking demonic saber. However, the giant Black Bull did not seem to see it and charged forward. The demonic saber shattered, and the giant Black Bull crashed into the expert of the Empyrean Demon Sect. The expert screamed as he was sent flying. He crashed into dozens of ancient black trees and lost all signs of life. He had been killed by the collision. The strength of this Black Bull was shocking. The other 2 experts fled in all directions in fear. Moo! The giant Black Bull roared and the horns on its head lit up. 2 rays of black light flew out like 2 demonic sabers and slashed at the 2 experts of the Empyrean Demon Sect. The 2 experts used their demonic sabers to block, but they both groaned and were sent flying. Blood spurted from their mouths as they were drowned by the Black Bulls. Only a few demonic sabers could be seen flashing before they became weaker and weaker. At that moment, the giant Black Bull looked at Lu Ming and roared as it charged toward Lu Ming. Nestle. Chapter 1482. Seeing that Lu Ming had escaped, the giant Black Bull roared and chased after Lu Ming. Lu Ming cast his movement technique and continued moving forward. After some time, Lu Ming realized that there were fewer and fewer black ancient trees in the area. However, there were wisps of black mist floating between the heavens and the earth. Sizzle. His protective true origin was sizzling. The black mist was corroding his true origin. Lu Ming hurriedly used the chaotic domain to cover his body and block the black mist around him. However, the black mist was extremely shocking. When it stuck to the chaotic domain, even the chaotic domain was sizzling. What was even more shocking was that even the black feather wings were the same. When the black feather wings were adhered to by the black mist, it also emitted a corroding sound. It could even corrode the chaotic domain and sacred weapons. Lu Ming's face turned ugly and he stopped. It was too dangerous to continue forward. It's actually this aura? On his shoulder, Dandan looked grave and bewildered. Dandan, this aura? What does it mean? Lu Ming asked. It's not from this world. Dandan said vaguely. Not from this world? Could it be from the heaven world? Lu Ming asked. No. Dandan shook his head and looked up into the distance without saying anything else. Rumble. Behind them, the earth rumbled and a giant black bull the size of a small hill appeared. Nestle, it's coming again. Do you have to do this? Lu Ming was really speechless. The 5 experts of the Sky Universe Demon Sect had died, but now, this giant black bull was relentlessly chasing after them. This giant was too powerful. It could easily kill a 7th level Martial Royal Realm expert. Similarly, it could easily kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming could only brace himself and continue forward. The further he went, the thicker the black mist became. His primal chaos domain and black wings kept sizzling. After the giant black bull chased for a while, it suddenly stopped, as if it was afraid. It let out a few cries, turned around, and ran away, disappearing from sight. That bull finally left. What's going on? It seems to be very scared. Lu Ming mumbled. Nonsense, of course he's scared. Kid, run quickly, go forward. Dandan shouted. Hiss, hiss, hiss. At this moment, hissing sounds came from both sides. Then Lu Ming saw two disgusting pythons crawling over. On the left and right sides, there was a giant python. These giant pythons had 3 heads, and their bodies were over 100 meters in diameter. They were incomparably huge. What was even more shocking was that his body was in tatters, with black liquid constantly flowing out. It was extremely horrifying. Lu Ming had never seen or heard of these giant pythons before. They were emitting an extremely evil aura, which was 10 times scarier than the giant black beast from before. Lu Ming finally knew why the giant black beast had fled all of a sudden. It was because of these 2 giant pythons. The giant pythons appeared and stared at Lu Ming with their crimson eyes. Run! Lu Ming sprinted forward without hesitation. Hiss, hiss, hiss. When the 2 giant pythons saw Lu Ming running away, their 3 heads uttered cries and twisted their bodies, chasing after Lu Ming and Lu Ming. Its body had a diameter of 100 meters. It was simply like 2 mountain ranges. In front of it, Lu Ming was like an ant. Lu Ming's black wings kept flapping. He ignored the black mist and continued to fly forward at a rapid pace. From time to time, he needed Bubbles' help to escape from the pursuit of the 2 giant pythons. Otherwise, Lu Ming would have been swallowed by the 2 giant pythons. After an unknown period of time, the surrounding mist became thicker and thicker, and the corrosive power became stronger and stronger. Lu Ming had to escape while resisting the surrounding black mist, which consumed a lot of energy. At this time, Lu Ming was sweating all over and gasping for breath. Bubble was almost the same, lying on Lu Ming's body in exhaustion. What is this place? It's so strange. Am I, Lu Ming, going to die here today? Buried in the belly of a snake? No, I can't die here. I promised Xiao Qing that I would rise to the heavens with her. Lu Ming clenched his teeth. A light flashed between his eyebrows, and Ming Lian's second body appeared. He took a step forward, and dense inscriptions flashed. His main body entered the mountain river diagram and devoured the origin stones to recover. After this period of time, Ming Lian's second body had fully recovered. Moreover, it was a blessing in disguise. His cultivation had advanced further, and he had already ignited 4 spirit lamps. The second body hurried on. After a period of time, when the second body's spirit flame was greatly exhausted, the main body appeared and continued to move forward. Hiss! At this time, the 2 giant pythons suddenly stopped and looked ahead. They seemed to be frightened, then turned around and slithered away. Lu Ming's heart began to turn cold. He thought of the giant bull from before. Could it be that he had entered the territory of an even more terrifying existence, and scared the 2 giant pythons away? Lu Ming stood in place, not knowing where to go for a while. He now knew that this area was a forbidden area, full of danger. Lu Ming, continue to move forward. Dandan looked into the distance and said, Continue to move forward? The further we go, the stronger the black mist is, and I don't know what terrifying existence there is. Lu Ming said. At this time, the black mist made his chaotic domain tremble. If this continued, Lu Ming would not be able to hold on for long. Lu Ming had already put away the black wings. Otherwise, they might be corroded. Listen to me, that's right. Dandan said. All right, I'll listen to you this time. Lu Ming gritted his teeth and took a big step forward. To Lu Ming's surprise, he continued to move forward without encountering any danger, nor did any strange beasts appear. After moving forward for about 1,000 miles, Lu Ming suddenly stopped. His eyes widened as he looked ahead. His whole body seemed to be frozen. This was because Lu Ming saw an extremely shocking scene. In front of him, at an unknown distance, a towering ancient tree rose from the ground, piercing into the depths of the void. This ancient tree was too big, too tall, and too majestic. It was like the legendary world tree, as tall as the sky. On the branches, there was a great Tao aura lingering, incomparably mysterious. Lu Ming was tongue-tied. Tao comprehension ancient tree. Lu Ming recognized at a glance that it was actually a Tao comprehension ancient tree, a fully mature one. Legend had it that a long time ago, many peak powerhouses would have a Tao comprehension ancient tree beside them. And here, Lu Ming actually saw a fully mature Tao comprehension ancient tree. And under the Tao comprehension ancient tree, there was a figure sitting cross-legged. This figure was extremely tall and majestic. Just sitting there cross-legged, the top of his head broke into the sky. There were clouds lingering around his body, and his figure was even taller than a towering mountain. How could there be such a majestic figure? Chapter 1483. It's him, it's really him. He didn't die in the battle back then. Dandan exclaimed. Lu Ming was shocked. Could it be that Dandan knew this figure? Dandan, do you know him? Lu Ming asked in a low voice. He was now sure that the two giant pythons had retreated because of this figure. In the depths of this terrifying forbidden area, there was a mature Enlightenment ancient tree. Under the Enlightenment ancient tree, there was a majestic figure sitting cross-legged. This was beyond Lu Ming's expectations. Moreover, Dandan seemed to know him. Nonsense, I'd recognize this guy even if he turned into ashes. Dandan muttered, its face full of anger. Could it be that he's Dandan's opponent? Dandan is one of the top 10 battle beasts. What kind of terrifying existence is this majestic figure? Lu Ming's heartbeat quickened. Chirp chirp. Bubble chirped and looked curiously at the figure. Whoosh. At this moment, the majestic figure suddenly opened its eyes. Two bright rays of light shot out from its eyes, like two peerlessly sharp divine swords, as if they were going to split the world in half. The majestic figure's gaze first fell on Bubble, then on Dandan, and finally on Lu Ming. Being swept by this gaze, Lu Ming felt a terrifying pressure all over his body. He could not even breathe properly. It was as if his body had been penetrated. Strong, too strong. There was only one thought in Lu Ming's mind. This figure didn't release any shocking aura. It just glanced at Lu Ming casually, and Lu Ming felt a terrifying pressure. It was as if he was facing the entire Great Thousand Universe, and he couldn't summon any thoughts of resistance. Lu Ming had a feeling that the figure could turn him into ashes with just a thought. Roar. At this moment, a terrifying roar came from the void in the distance, full of tyrannical intent. That is, Lu Ming finally shifted his gaze from the Tree of Enlightenment and the towering figure to the depths of the void. There, a huge hole seemed to have been torn open in space. An incomparably huge, pitch-black hole quietly floated in the air. It was pitch black inside, as if it led to the abyss of hell. And that terrifying roar came from that abyss-like hole. Roar. Roar. Then, the roars came one after another, getting louder and louder, more and more shocking. The sound formed a terrifying sound wave that rushed out, causing Lu Ming's primal chaos domain to tremble violently. Lu Ming's body also trembled violently, continuously retreating, almost spitting out a mouthful of blood. What a terrifying sound. Lu Ming and the hole were separated by an unknown distance. The sound that came out of the hole was actually able to injure Lu Ming. At that moment, the majestic figure stood up. As soon as he stood up, his figure became even more majestic, standing as tall as the sky. The majestic figure flicked his finger slightly, and a ray of light flew towards Lu Ming and the others, forming a light curtain that blocked Lu Ming and the others. That terrifying sound immediately disappeared. The majestic figure was actually protecting them. It seemed that he was really an old acquaintance of Dandan. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Roar. The roar shook the sky. At that moment, Lu Ming saw a shocking scene. Two tentacles suddenly stretched out of the pitch-black hole. These two tentacles were incomparably huge, like two octopus tentacles, pitch-black. The two tentacles stretched out and pressed on both sides of the huge hole, as if trying to support the larger figure behind it. Slash. The majestic figure coldly spat out a word, and the world rumbled as if it had been blessed by the great Tao. Two terrifying sabers slashed towards the two tentacles. But at that moment, two more pitch-black tentacles stretched out of the pitch-black hole, curling towards the two sabers. With two bangs, the two sabers were destroyed. Bang. Bang. The majestic figure stepped out. His eyes were like lightning, and his body was surrounded by endless light, as if the great Tao of heaven and earth was surrounding him. Lu Ming was shocked. What kind of realm was this? When the body moved, the great Tao moved. It was as if the great Tao of heaven and earth was his weapon and slave. This realm was already incredible, reaching an unimaginable level. Boom. Boom. The majestic figure threw out two punches in a row. The two pitch-black tentacles directly exploded. An endless black liquid flew in all directions and scattered on the ground. Within the black liquid, wisps of black mist were emitted. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that the pitch-black world, the black mist, and the black mud were formed by the explosion of these tentacles? Roar. The tentacles were broken, and angry roars came from the pitch-black hole. The terrifying sound waves caused the void where the majestic figure was to collapse and turn into chaos. The terrifying sound waves passed through endless distance and rushed towards Lu Ming and the others. Boom. Lu Ming's body shook violently, and he felt his blood boil. A trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Dandan, who was on Lu Ming's shoulder, was also sent flying. Damn it, this guy is definitely doing it on purpose. Since he wants to protect us, why didn't he completely isolate the sound waves and let some of them in? This guy is doing it on purpose. He's jealous of me. Dandan shouted, staring hatefully at the majestic figure in the distance. Roar. Roars continued to be heard from the hole, and a huge head appeared in the hole. The head was covered in scales, and there were 3 eyes in the middle of its brows. 3 eyes. Lu Ming could not help but think of the 3-eyed divine tribe that he met on a small island in the Heaven Realm in the War of Providence. The huge head appeared, and the 3rd eye in the middle of its brows shot out a destructive light toward the majestic figure. The majestic figure punched out and destroyed the destructive light. At this time, a few more tentacles stretched out from the hole and pressed around the hole. The huge figure seemed to want to crawl out. Go back. The majestic figure shouted, and his voice rumbled. He punched out, and the world was annihilated by the fist energy. The tentacles that were pressing around the hole all exploded one by one. Black liquid scattered across the vast land, and some of it even sprayed toward Lu Ming and the others. Fortunately, the majestic figure had set up a light shield for them, which blocked the black liquid. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster for Lu Ming and the others. Kill. At this time, the majestic figure roared and stepped out, rushing directly into the dark hole. Boom. Boom. There was an earth-shattering roar in the pitch-black hole. The void collapsed directly. Lu Ming looked through the collapsed void and saw the scene inside. It was an incomparably huge figure covered in scales. It was somewhat similar to the 3-eyed divine tribe that he saw before. However, its size was many times bigger than the 3-eyed divine tribe. Moreover, there were 8 huge pitch-black tentacles on its back, which looked extremely ferocious. This figure held 2 huge axes in its hands and engaged in a fierce battle with the majestic figure. The majestic figure was strengthened by the great Tao, and its combat strength was astonishing. The 2 of them kept colliding, and the void kept collapsing. Chapter 1484. The towering figure and the ferocious creature fought in the extraterritorial starry sky. However, Lu Ming could still see it clearly. Through the collapsing void, he could vaguely see 2 figures fighting in the extraterrestrial starry sky. It was as though they were projected. It was very fascinating. The 2 huge figures fought in the extraterritorial starry sky, and the space was collapsing. Moo. Suddenly, the towering figure roared into the sky and turned into a huge heavenly bull. Its 2 horns were like 2 divine blades. The body of the towering figure was actually a huge heavenly bull. The heavenly bull stepped in the air, and every step it took caused the space to collapse. Moo. The heavenly bull roared and the space became chaotic. Lu Ming even saw the stars in the extraterritorial starry sky explode like fireworks. Lu Ming gasped. It was too terrifying. A roar could cause the stars to explode. How terrifying was that? Could a person's strength really reach such a level? Lu Ming had a feeling that given the combat power of the towering figure, he could completely flatten a continent like the divine wilderness in one move. One move and the divine wilderness would disappear from the world. Such strength was beyond Lu Ming's imagination. Is this the strength of a great emperor? But, even Emperor Tsong and Master Miahun weren't this terrifying. Lu Ming muttered. Kid, what do you know? Even though we're both great emperors, our strength is worlds apart. When I was at my peak, I could kill a bunch of ordinary great emperors with one slap. Dandan said arrogantly. Lu Ming was skeptical of Dandan's words. Lu Ming believed that although they were both great emperors, there was a great disparity in their combat abilities. However, ordinary great emperors weren't that weak. When he saw Emperor Tsong and Master Miahun, they were severely injured and had fought against each other for 60,000 years. They were extremely weak. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Emperor Tsong to turn the situation around with just a lightning cauldron. If Emperor Tsong and Master Miahun were at their peak, they would definitely be terrifying. The heavenly bull roared and shattered the stars. It also caused the tentacles behind the three-eyed being to explode. Then the heavenly bull stepped in the air, and its two horns turned into two heavenly blades. Two black blade marks appeared in the extraterritorial starry sky. From afar, it looked like the entire extraterritorial starry sky had been split. The three-eyed being roared and held two battle axes to fight against the two heavenly blades. The extraterritorial starry sky was destroyed. If that terrifying attack landed on the ground, it would definitely cause the heavens and earth would be destroyed. In the blink of an eye, the two terrifying existences had exchanged more than 10 blows. But in the end, the heavenly bull was. The heavenly bull stomped through the air, smashing through all of the opponent's defenses. It smashed into the opponent's body, causing a huge hole to appear. Then, the heavenly blade formed by the bull's horns slashed down, cutting off the opponent's head. Sky, sky, sky. Bull, sky, 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 bull. Sky, 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 sky. Moo. And sky, 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 sky. Moo. The heavenly bull roared once more. The three-eyed being finally couldn't take it anymore. Its entire body exploded in the void. But even so, the other party was still not dead. Two huge arms, holding the giant axe, continued to slash at the heavenly bull. The shattered flesh and the severed head were wriggling rapidly. They were quickly gluing themselves back together, trying to restore themselves. How could the heavenly bull allow the other party to succeed? He stepped forward, his entire body shining. This was the result of the great Tao being added to his body. Terrifying great Tao laws surrounded the other party, starting to refine him. Chi-Chi, the flesh and blood of the three-eyed being seemed to be immersed in flames. It was constantly being refined, turning into black smoke and dissipating. You can't stop my world. You are just a defeated general struggling at death's door. The head that had been cut off let out a roar, and the third eye on its forehead even shot out a destructive beam of light to attack the heaven beetle. But it was destroyed by the heaven beetle. The heaven realm is about to be destroyed, and the primordial realm will not be spared either. All of you are just struggling at death's door. Wait until the primordial realm opens up a path, and the army will destroy all of you. The head let out another roar. Poochie. Two heavenly blades slashed down, splitting the huge head in half. The great Tao laws condensed, and the three-eyed being turned into black smoke and dissipated. My world, my race, will avenge me. After a few hours, when the last voice was heard, the three-eyed being was finally completely refined. The huge heavenly bull once again transformed into a human form. He took a step forward and reappeared under the Tree of Enlightenment. An earth-shattering battle had come to an end. But that kind of shock made Lu Ming's heart tremble, and he could not calm down. Such an existence should be the pinnacle of the world, right? It was true that with a thought, heaven and earth would collapse, and with a rage, millions of corpses would fall. It was unbelievably powerful. TSK, this old bull can't take it anymore. It took so long to kill such an opponent. It seems that it was also badly injured in the battle back then. Dandan muttered, making Lu Ming's eyelids twitch. Such terrifying combat strength was still not enough? Hey old bull, long time no see, did you miss me? Dandan shouted at the towering figure. The towering figure looked at Dandan and said in a booming voice, You old tortoise, you're still alive. You're quite lucky. Ha ha ha, even an old bull like you isn't dead yet. Who am I? How can I die so easily? Old bull, it's been a long time since we last met. Why don't you give me a greeting gift? What emperor medicine? Give me 100 or so stocks. Or emperor weapons. Dandan laughed. Lu Ming was speechless. This guy was really greedy. However, Lu Ming was also looking forward to it. He thought that if the towering figure really gave Dandan a few stocks of emperor medicine, he must find a way to get some. The towering figure seemed to smile. With a wave of his hand, a ball of light flew through the air. However, The ball of light did not fly to Dandan, but to the bubble. Its speed was unbelievably fast. In an instant, it had arrived in front of the bubble. Before Lu Ming could see clearly what it was, Bubbles opened its mouth and swallowed the ball of light. It had a look of enjoyment on its face. Time and space crystal. Old bull, you're really generous. What about me? Where are my treasures? Dandan opened its eyes wide. Go, the towering figure said. Hey, wait, my treasures. You old bull, you're taking revenge on me for being more handsome than you. Dandan cursed loudly, jabbering on and on. The towering figure waved his hand, and an invisible force surged. Lu Ming felt his body tighten. Then he saw the scenery around him flashing past. In the next moment, Lu Ming found that he had already left the dark place, and was standing on a mountain peak. Revenge, revenge, this old bull must be taking revenge. Damn it, he didn't give me anything. Chapter 1485. Heavy color? Lu Ming was speechless. Could it be that Bubble is a female? But it's only a few years old. Could it be Bubble's mother, the legendary space-time spirit mouse? Lu Ming thought to himself. But he was happy for Bubble. Looking at Eggy's appearance, the space-time crystal must be extraordinary. Chirp chirp. Bubble chirped as its body emitted a milky white light. That light seemed real and illusory at the same time, as if it was shrouded in the law of space-time. It looked at Dandan proudly. This made Dandan so angry that even its shell turned green. Dandan, who is that person? Why is he so powerful? Lu Ming asked curiously. Lu Ming speculated that the figure should be from the same era as Dandan, or even an expert of the same level. Could it be another one of the top 10 war beasts? Who else could it be? You can tell from its size. It's one of the top 10 war beasts, the Titan longhorn beetle. It was my underling back then. Dandan curled its lips. As expected, Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat, revealing a shocked expression. He had come into contact with a few of the top 10 war beasts. His first bloodline, the 9 dragons. There was also Dandan, who called himself the world's divine turtle, the leader of the top 10. Of course, Lu Ming didn't take it seriously. There was also Bubble, the descendant of the space-time spirit mouse. There was also Longchen's bloodline, the immemorial dragonesque elephant. But none of the war beasts he came into contact with were their original bodies. They either appeared in their bloodlines or were their descendants. As for Dandan, it had also undergone nirvana rebirth. As for the Titan longhorn beetle, it was the real original body. Although Dandan said that it wasn't at its peak and was injured, the real original body, the legendary one, had earth-shattering combat power. As for Dandan saying that the Titan longhorn beetle was his underling, Lu Ming directly ignored it. Dandan would die if he didn't brag. How many of the top 10 war beasts are still alive? Lu Ming muttered. Without a doubt, the top 10 war beasts were definitely the pinnacle of existence in the world. Every one of them was a taboo, one of a kind, and one of a kind. Back then, the old space-time spirit mouse had died, and only then could a new one be born. I don't know either. Dandan showed a rare look of contemplation and solemnity, as if he was sighing with emotion. Chirp chirp. At this moment, Bubble cried out and pointed one of its claws forward. Lu Ming looked ahead. Mo. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. The mountain where they had appeared was not far from the Death Wasteland. From afar, one could see the pitch-black river. Beside the river, Emohi stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking at the wasteland of death. Humph, I have to think of a way to get rid of this person. Lu Ming revealed a cold-killing intent. This time he was lucky to have survived. It could be said that it was full of danger. Lu Ming would definitely take revenge for this. Got it. Lu Ming's eyes flickered, and Ming Lian's second body appeared. Lu Ming's plan was very simple. He would let Ming Lian's second body inscribe a formation and kill Emohi. Ming Lian's second body took a step forward, and appeared in a valley behind the mountain. He began to inscribe a formation. I'll help. Dandan followed. How could he be left out when it came to killing people? As for Lu Ming, he restrained his aura and quietly approached the river. The river was very long, dividing the land into two. One side was the Death Wasteland, and the other side was normal land. Lu Ming quietly came to the side of the river, and hid behind a huge rock. He was 100 miles away from Emohi. Lu Ming completely restrained his aura and quietly observed. I wonder how that kid is doing? Is he dead? Emohi looked at the death wasteland and frowned. Let's hope those guys can kill that kid and bring his corpse out. This time, he was ordered to bring people to kill Lu Ming. He was confident that he would bring back Lu Ming's body, but he did not expect that Lu Ming would escape into the death wasteland. He did not dare to go in, so he could only wait here. Time flew by quickly. Soon a day had passed. Why haven't they come out yet? Did they all die in there? The death wasteland is very dangerous. Even Saint Realm experts will die in there. A great emperor once went in and came out with a grave expression. It's definitely dangerous inside. That kid has been in there for so long. He probably won't survive. I'll wait for another day. I'll wait for another day. Soon another day passed. It seems that kid has died in there. Let's go back. Emohi turned around and stepped into the air, intending to leave. As for the 5 7th level martial royal realm martial artists, they were just ants in his eyes. He did not care about them at all. He's leaving? The time is too short. However, I've engraved the formation for 2 days. It should be enough to kill him. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. Then he circulated his true origin. His body trembled and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Then Lu Ming slammed his palm on a boulder beside him. The boulder exploded with a bang. In the distance, Emohi, who was about to leave, was alerted and looked over. Lu Ming, you're not dead. Emohi's eyes widened and he shouted angrily. Whoosh! Lu Ming did not bother to pay attention to Emohi. He pretended that he had just rushed out of the death wasteland and was seriously injured as he flew into the distance. Want to run? Die! Emohi shouted angrily and turned into a ray of demonic light, chasing after Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. A pair of black wings appeared on Lu Ming's back. With a flap, he flew toward the mountain at lightning speed. When he was about to arrive, Lu Ming rushed into the canyon. As for his second body and Dandan, they had hidden long ago. Emohi did not suspect anything and followed Lu Ming into the canyon. At that moment, Lu Ming suddenly stopped. Why aren't you running? Do you know that you can't run away? Where are the people from the Sky Universe Demon Sect? Emohi said coldly. Those pieces of trash are all dead. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Trash indeed. You can't even kill a second-level martial royal realm ant like you. You deserve to die. Emohi said coldly. Demonic chi surged from his body and pressed toward Lu Ming. An ant? Then I'll show you the counterattack of an ant. Lu Ming smiled coldly and took a step forward. Buzz. The entire canyon was filled with dense inscriptions, and a large formation appeared. A killing formation? You came out long ago? When the formation appeared, Emohi's expression changed drastically. He finally understood that Lu Ming had come out long ago and set up a formation to lure him here. Kill. Lu Ming did not bother to talk nonsense with him and shouted. In the depths of the canyon, Ming Lian's second body waved his hands, and the formation lit up. Endless sword rays condensed and shot toward Emohi. You want to kill me with a formation? Dream on. Break. Emohi roared, and demonic chi surged from his body. It seemed like a demon god was roaring at the sky. Chapter 1486. The formation appeared and the inscriptions shone. In the depths of the valley, the glabella of Ming Lian's second body shone with a golden light. Within the formation, golden sword rays condensed. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Golden sword rays shot out from all directions, attacking Emohi. Break, break, break. Emohi looked up to the sky and roared. His body emitted a demonic light. The pitch-black demonic saber swept in all directions like an invincible demon god. Wherever the demonic saber passed, the golden sword chi collapsed. Not far away, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. Emohi's battle prowess is so strong. When I fought with him a few days ago, he didn't use his full strength. The battle prowess he displayed now was extremely shocking. Although it had only been 2 days and the formation set up by Ming Lian's second body couldn't be too terrifying, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to kill an 8th-level martial king. But now, it was blocked by Emohi, a superior earth spiritual body. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Emohi's spiritual body should be a superior earth spiritual body. With such a physique, his battle prowess was self-evident and extremely shocking. In the entire Tsang prefecture, there weren't many forces with a superior earth spiritual body. Each of them was a top genius, and was invincible among those of the same level. Fighting against those of a higher level was as easy as eating and drinking. What's the use of a formation? Watch how I break your formation. Emohi roared. His demonic saber was shocking. With a slash, countless golden sword rays collapsed. Boom. The demonic saber slashed at one side of the valley. The valley shook and collapsed. Its power was shocking. He wanted to break through the valley and destroy Lu Ming's formation. Then I'll add another gift. At this time, Dandan had already left Ming Lian's second body, and arrived on the shoulder of Lu Ming's main body. He grinned and inscriptions flashed on his claws. Buzz. In the valley, another formation appeared. This was the formation set up by Dandan. When the formation appeared, it condensed into huge hammers that smashed toward Emohi's head. Boom. 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 As the hammer smashed down, Emohi's devil saber trembled. His body also trembled involuntarily, and he retreated a few steps. Then, an endless amount of sword chi pierced down, accompanied by a series of hammers. Emohi's expression was grave as he slashed out with his saber. However, his saber was intercepted by the hammer, and under the continuous bombardment, it directly collapsed. Haha, smash, 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 smash this bastard. No, smash this bastard to death. Dandan shouted arrogantly as it waved its claws. Finally, Mo was completely suppressed, unable to retaliate. He could only passively defend. Whoosh. Whoosh. Sword chi swept out, and several of them almost chopped off Emohi's head, leaving behind a bloody mark on his face. Fear flashed across Mo's face. Magic Night Mirror, go. A ray of light shot out from between his eyebrows. Then a pitch-black ancient mirror flew out and floated above Emohi's head. A ray of light fell down and enveloped Emohi. The sword chi in the surroundings and the hammer smashed onto the light screen of the ancient mirror. The light screen shook, but it didn't break. A sacred artifact. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. The ancient mirror that Emohi used was a sacred artifact. Thinking about it, it was normal for a prodigy like Emohi to have a sacred artifact to protect himself. With the sacred artifact protecting himself, Emohi abandoned his own defense and focused on attacking. Boom. Boom. The demonic saber swept out, and rays of saber light swept out in all directions, colliding with the golden sword chi and the hammer. The two arrays shook. Kill. Emohi slowly charged in one direction, breaking through the sword chi and hammer as he slowly approached the exit of the canyon. If this continued, it was very likely that Emohi would escape. It seems that I still underestimated the strength of this prodigy. This thought flashed through Lu Ming's mind, but the killing intent in his eyes intensified. Dandan bubble attack. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Dandan and Bubbles. Then, the black wings on his back spread open. With a swoosh he charged toward Emohi. As he charged, Lu Ming's hands rapidly formed hand seals. Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal. A low roar came from Lu Ming's mouth. A large chaotic seal condensed above Emohi's head, bringing with it a terrifying fluctuation as it pressed down on Emohi. At the same time, Dandan flew out and rapidly grew. Just like before, it stepped on the Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal, making it even more terrifying. The Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal pressed down on Emohi with mountain-toppling momentum. Emohi's eyes narrowed. He knew the power of the Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal, so he roared. The pitch-black ancient mirror emitted boundless demonic light as it met the Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal. Boom. There was a terrifying explosion as the Primal Chaos Flipping Sky Seal slammed into the pitch-black ancient mirror, creating a terrifying shockwave. By then, Lu Ming had already rushed to a spot not far from Emohi. Two black rays of light suddenly shot out from his eyes and shot toward Emohi. Divine Sword Art. The black light was like a divine sword that shot into Emohi's body and attacked his spiritual deity. Emohi's spiritual deity felt a tearing pain, and his aura became sluggish. The circulation of his quintessence also became sluggish. Right at that moment, Bubble launched an attack. Several spacetime blades slashed out at Emohi. At the same time, the two arrays, endless golden sword chi, and the large hammer also bombarded Emohi. Boom. Boom. Emohi's body shook. Although he tried his best to block, his defense was broken by so many attacks. The scattered light from the black ancient mirror shattered with a bang. Slash. The black wings on Lu Ming's back were like heavenly blades that slashed at Emohi, wanting to cut him in half. Emohi's pupils shrank, and at the critical moment he moved slightly to the side. Poochie. Blood splattered everywhere. Although Emohi had avoided death, he still couldn't completely avoid it. One of his arms was chopped off by the black wings. Argh. Emohi screamed miserably, and a crazed look appeared in his eyes. With a furious roar, the blood from his severed arm flew toward the pitch-black ancient mirror. At this moment, the pitch-black ancient mirror shone brightly, emitting a dark red demonic light. A terrifying might rippled out from it. Lu Ming hurriedly used the black wings to shield his body. With the impact of this force, his body shook and he was sent flying out, crashing into the wall. At the same time, the primal chaos flipping sky seal finally ran out of power and collapsed. Dandan cried out as he was sent flying. The golden sword chi and the large hammer formed by the array also collapsed. Lu Ming, I will remember this grudge. The next time we meet, I will definitely kill you. A furious roar came from Emohi's mouth. The black ancient mirror emitted a bloody light that wrapped around Emohi and rushed out of the array's range. He rushed out of the canyon and turned into a ray of bloody light that quickly fled. It's a pity that there wasn't enough time. The array's power isn't enough. Lu Ming looked in the direction Emohi had left with some regret. Chapter 1487. Immediately, Lu Ming's gaze shifted and he looked toward the valley. One of Emohi's arms was left there, and there was a storage ring on one of his fingers. A smile appeared on Lu Ming's face. Emohi's severed arm was the one that had a storage ring on it. Driving his Jinyuan, Zhang Xian pulled Emohi's storage ring over to him and held it in his hand. At that moment, Ming Lian's second body walked out of the depths of the valley, turned into a ray of light, and disappeared into Lu Ming's glabella. Ming Lian's second body was very rare, and could be considered one of Lu Ming's trump cards. Not many people in Yuanlu knew about it. Therefore, Lu Ming would try his best not to expose him if he could. Therefore, Lu Ming made a mental note to get Ming Lian's second body to control the array in the depths of the canyon, just in case Emohi escaped. This way, Emohi would not know about Ming Lian's second body. In Yuanlu, experts were as common as clouds and as many as rain. There were dangers everywhere. If he could keep a trump card, he might be able to save his life at a critical moment. Lu Ming had been through a lot of dangers along the way. He was very clear about this. Let's leave this place first. With a flap of his black wings, Lu Ming soared into the sky and flew into the distance. It was not good to stay in this place for long. There might be experts from the Sky Universe Demon Sect coming later. He flew all the way and very soon he had flown a few million miles. At this moment, Lu Ming's speed slowed down. Lu Ming, stop for a moment. Dandan suddenly called out. Lu Ming stopped and asked Dandan what was the matter. Lu Ming, I'm going to take my leave. Dandan pondered for a moment and said. Lu Ming was stunned and said, You're leaving? Dandan nodded and said, In the past, the Divine Wilderness continent was a godforsaken place with nowhere to go. But it's different here. There are danger zones and forbidden zones everywhere, but there are also fortuitous encounters everywhere. This is the place where I can move freely. I will rise against the heavens, and if I continue to stay here, I will soon be left behind by this little guy. In the end, Dandan glanced at Bubble. Lu Ming was speechless. Could it be that this guy wanted to leave because he was about to be left behind by Bubble? Lu Ming, you saw the battle between that creature and the Heavenly Bull, right? Although the Heavenly Bull was guarding that place, it was useless. There's more than one gap. The battle will come sooner or later. Moreover, it's earlier than I expected. When the time comes, the heavens and the earth will shatter, and the world will be destroyed. Dandan's expression was solemn and her tone was heavy. Dandan, the battle that you always talk about, what's going on? Who is the enemy? Is it that three-eyed creature? What exactly is that three-eyed creature? Lu Ming asked a series of questions. Dandan shook her head and said, "Your cultivation is too weak. I can't tell you for the time being. If I tell you, it will distract you. You only need to know that the enemies you will face in the future are the real enemies, the truly terrifying ones. Some of the enemies you are facing now are just child's play. That battle will be the pinnacle of the battle. It might also be the last battle. Based on the current situation, it won't be long before it arrives. Therefore, you should hurry up and improve your strength. I'm leaving." Dandan turned into a ray of light and rushed into the distance. However, in the next moment, Dandan flew back in a flash of light and looked at Lu Ming with a sly smile. "Lu Ming, I'm about to leave. Aren't you going to give me some elixirs?" Scram! Lu Ming threw out a slap, and Dandan disappeared into the horizon. "Ah, Lu Ming, you heartless guy." Dandan's voice came from afar and disappeared without a trace. This guy. There was a hint of reluctance in Lu Ming's eyes. Although Dandan was unreliable, he had been following Lu Ming for so many years. He had been following Lu Ming ever since Lu Ming left the Scorching Sun Empire. In the blink of an eye, almost 10 years had passed. Therefore, he was somewhat reluctant to leave now. However, Lu Ming also understood that Dandan was right. This guy would recover more slowly if he followed him. In a place like the Yuan continent, Dandan could recover faster if he was alone. Lu Ming wasn't worried about Dandan's safety. This guy was cunning and vicious. Moreover, he was experienced and knowledgeable. He would be fine. "I have to find a place to meditate in seclusion," Lu Ming muttered. The scene of the battle between the Titan Longhorn Beetle and the three-eyed creature flashed in his mind from time to time. That scene was too shocking. The Titan Longhorn Beetle was imbued with the Great Path. Every move it made seemed to contain the truth of the world and the aura of the Great Path. Whenever Lu Ming thought about it, the chaotic domain seemed to tremble. However, Lu Ming also noticed that as time passed, the image of the Titan Longhorn Beetle in his mind became fainter and fainter. The aura of the Great Path and the stimulation of the Great Path also became fainter and fainter. It wouldn't be long before it disappeared. Therefore, Lu Ming wanted to find a place to meditate in seclusion immediately. Otherwise, it would be a waste. Lu Ming flapped his black wings and left the place. An hour later, Lu Ming found a secluded place and sat down cross-legged. The scene of the battle between the Titan Longhorn Beetle and the three-eyed creature kept replaying in his mind. Lu Ming's understanding of the chaotic domain deepened rapidly. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. At this time, the chaotic domain spread out from Lu Ming's body in all directions. The area it covered was twice as big as before. In this half a month, the chaotic domain had improved rapidly. Now it had broken through and reached the third level. The third level of the chaotic domain. At this time, Lu Ming still had the image of the battle between the Titan Longhorn Beetle and the three-eyed creature, but it was very faint. Moreover, he couldn't sense the aura of the Great Path at all. However, Lu Ming was still very satisfied. If he had cultivated normally, Lu Ming's chaotic domain would have needed at least 1 or 2 years to break through to the third level. Now, it had only taken him half a month to break through to the third level. It was a great achievement. However, Lu Ming's cultivation was still at the early stage of the second layer martial royal realm. However, it was much easier to improve his cultivation after the breakthrough of the chaotic domain. At this time, a storage ring appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was Emohi's storage ring. During this time, Lu Ming had been focused on comprehending and didn't have time to open it. After breaking Mo's brand on the storage ring, Lu Ming scanned it with his spiritual senses. He could see everything in the storage ring at a glance. There were tens of millions of middle-grade origin stones. Lu Ming had made a lot of money. There were also other spiritual herbs and materials. Lu Ming only took a quick glance. There were also several martial emperor spiritual weapons. In the end, Lu Ming's gaze landed on a blue crystal clear battle sword. This crystal battle sword was filled with a powerful aura. It was a sacred weapon. There seemed to be water flowing on it. It was a water-based sacred weapon. Lu Ming guessed that Emohi had put it in the storage ring because its attribute didn't match with Emohi's. Lu Ming had made a lot of money. Chapter 1488. It's time to go back. Lu Ming put away the storage ring and cast his movement technique, continuing to head toward the Divine Dragon Valley. 7 days later, the Dragon God Valley was already in sight. When he returned to the Dragon God Valley, the temperature began to drop rapidly. At a glance, the sky was covered in snow and the sky was white. Lu Ming flew toward the outer valley. With his current status, there was naturally no one who would stop him. However, he did not notice that when he flew into the outer valley, there were a few pairs of eyes staring at Lu Ming. Lu Ming is back. He is indeed not dead. Quickly report to the young master. Someone took out a voice transmission jade talisman and sent out a message. Lu Ming flew toward the Cloud Dragon God Valley. However, before he reached halfway, he was stopped by a few young men. 3 young men stood in front of Lu Ming and stared at Lu Ming with unfriendly eyes. Lu Ming, how dare you come back? The young man in the middle looked at Lu Ming coldly. Why wouldn't I dare to come back? But why are you blocking my path? Lu Ming frowned and said, What is it? Lu Ming, let me ask you. You went on a mission with my elder brother, Su Long, and the rest. Why are you the only one who came back? Why didn't my elder brother and the rest come back? Tell me, did you get greedy and collude with outsiders to kill my elder brother and the rest? The young man in the middle shouted. Su Long's brother? Lu Ming's eyes flickered. No wonder he looked similar to Su Long. There is something else about Su Long and the others. I will report it to the elders of the mission hall and explain it clearly. Lu Ming said. Explain what? Lu Ming, don't try to deny it. My brother and the others must have been killed by you. Now, come with me to the Dragon Punishing Palace to receive your punishment. Su Long's brother shouted. Their commotion naturally alarmed the others. At this moment, many passers-by came over to watch and discuss. There was a glint in Lu Ming's eyes. These people seemed to have planned this beforehand. Lu Ming had just returned, but these people immediately knew and blocked his path. Clearly, there were people in the outer valley who had been waiting for Lu Ming's return. Their purpose was to wait for Lu Ming to come back and cause trouble. Lu Ming's first thought was Yin Feng. Su Long was sent by Yin Feng. Even Duan Yen and Fu Xing were sent by Yin Feng. The Dragon Punishment Palace was the law enforcement place of the Dragon God Valley. There might be Yin Feng's people there. If Lu Ming went to the Dragon Punishment Palace, his life and death would not be up to him. Why would Lu Ming go to the Dragon Punishment Palace? Get out of my way. I've already said that there's something else going on with Su Long and the others. It has nothing to do with me. Lu Ming coldly shouted. Don't even think about it. Today, you have to come with me to the Dragon Punishment Palace. A sharp light flashed in Su Long's younger brother's eyes as he stepped forward and reached out to grab Lu Ming. Get lost. Lu Ming shouted and took a step forward. 9 dragons rushed out from under his feet and collided with Su Long's younger brother. Su Long's younger brother cried out in pain as his body was sent flying, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Lu Ming took a step forward, and his body was like a flickering shadow as he rushed towards the Cloud Dragon Valley. Lu Ming knew that Yin Feng and the others had most likely found out about the deaths of Su Long and the others. They were waiting for Lu Ming to return to slander him and deal with him. Soon Lu Ming arrived at the Cloud Dragon Valley. Senior brother Lu. At the entrance of the Cloud Dragon Valley, 2 ordinary disciples bowed to Lu Ming. Lu Ming nodded at the 2 and continued to walk towards the depths of the Cloud Dragon Valley. He wanted to find the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, or Long Yuanshan, to explain the mission. However, he did not walk far before he heard a commotion at the entrance of the valley. Tell Lu Ming to get out here. A furious roar could be heard. They're here so quickly. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. He immediately turned around and walked towards the entrance of the valley. A group of people blocked the entrance of the Cloud Dragon Valley. Su Long's younger brother was among them. Yin Feng was also among them. Behind Yin Feng was a large group of people. Some of them were wearing golden dragon robes and had a dignified aura. They were from the Dragon Punishing Palace. At that moment, 2 Cloud Dragon Valley disciples blocked the group. Everyone, this is the Cloud Dragon Valley. Those who are not from the Cloud Dragon Valley are not allowed to barge in. One of the disciples said. Tell Lu Ming to get out here. Lu Ming colluded with outsiders and took advantage of the mission to murder his fellow disciples. He has committed a heinous crime. We must take him down and bring him to the Dragon Punishing Palace for interrogation. Yin Feng said coldly. Everyone, senior brother Lu Ming is the true disciple of the Valley Master. Even if something happened, the elders of the Dragon Punishing Palace should inform the Valley Master first. Then, the Valley Master will come forward to investigate the matter. One of the Cloud Dragon Valley disciples said. The evidence of Lu Ming murdering his fellow disciples is conclusive. There is no need to trouble the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. Just bring him to the Dragon Punishing Palace. Get lost and let us go in to capture Lu Ming. Yin Feng berated. No, you are not allowed to barge into the Cloud Dragon Valley. The two Cloud Dragon Valley disciples stopped them. Get lost. A burly young man behind Yin Feng shouted angrily and threw out a palm strike. The two Cloud Dragon Valley disciples grunted and retreated. Blood flowed from the corner of their mouths. Today, Lu Ming must go to the Dragon Punishing Palace to receive his punishment. Yin Feng berated. Are you looking for me? A cold voice sounded and Lu Ming's figure appeared in a flash. Lu Ming. Yin Feng's eyes narrowed. Yin Feng, you are getting bolder. You brought people to barge into the Cloud Dragon Valley, and even injured our disciples. It seems like you have no respect for the Cloud Dragon Valley. Lu Ming said coldly. Lu Ming, we are here to capture you. You were hiding in the Cloud Dragon Valley, and we had no choice but to barge in. Lu Ming, it's good that you are here. Did you collude with outsiders to kill Su Long, Duan Yen and the others? Yin Feng started to quibble and asked Lu Ming directly. I didn't kill Duan Yen, Fu Xing and the others. Lu Ming said calmly. Still trying to quibble? Lu Ming, let me tell you. I brought people to the Feng clan and found the corpses of Duan Yen, Fu Xing and Su Long in a cave. Su Long was obviously killed by you. That was obviously your martial art. Besides, there was still your aura on Su Long's corpse. How dare you say you didn't kill them? Yin Feng shouted coldly. Lu Ming frowned. It seemed like Yin Feng really hated his guts and wanted to kill him. He even sent people to investigate the Feng clan. Su Long was indeed killed by Lu Ming's chaotic domain and the suppressing Hell Heaven skill. However, at that time, Su Long wanted to kill him, so he had to kill him too. Now Yin Feng was holding on to this point. That's right, I did kill Su Long, Lu Ming said. This made many people's hearts tremble. Yin Feng was ecstatic. He said loudly, everyone, you have heard it. Lu Ming has admitted it himself. Su Long was killed by him. How can such a vicious person who killed his fellow disciples be left in this world? Today, the Dragon Punishing Palace must kill this person and take revenge for Su Long and his fellow disciples. The Dragon Punishing Palace will not let him go. Chapter 1489. Looking coldly at Yin Feng and the rest, Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile as he said calmly, I killed Su Long because Su Long wanted to kill me first. Am I supposed to let him kill me and not retaliate? Lu Ming's voice caused the entire place to fall silent. Nonsense, Su Long had no conflict with you. Why would he try to kill you? What a joke. Yin Feng snapped. Do I have to ask you that? Lu Ming glanced at Yin Feng and said with a hollow grin. Yin Feng's expression changed slightly before he let out a hollow laugh and said, Lu Ming, Su Long is already dead. You can say whatever you want, since there's no proof. However, no matter what you say, you won't be able to change the truth. The truth is that you killed Su Long with your own hands. The evidence is clear, and you won't be able to change it. You will be punished. Yin Feng, what's the rush? If you want to know the truth, I'll tell you. Lu Ming calmly glanced at Yin Feng and said, previously, when we were on a mission, we stumbled into a powerful enemy. Duan Yen, Fu Xing, and Zhang Kong were killed by the enemy. Su Long even sided with the enemy and was controlled by them. He tried to kill me, which was why I killed him. Lu Ming briefly explained the details of the mission. Nonsense, from what I know, Duan Yen and Fu Xing's cultivations were at the 3rd layer martial dominator realm, while Su Long's cultivation was at the 4th layer martial dominator realm. You stumbled into a powerful enemy, and they all died, but you, a mere ant from a desolated island, are still alive. Isn't that ridiculous? Do you really think we're idiots? Yinfeng let out a hollow laugh. You're not idiots, you're stupid, Lu Ming calmly said. Yinfeng wore an unpleasant expression. Let me tell you, there's only one reason why they died, and I'm still alive, which is because I'm strong. Lu Ming said in a loud voice. Because I'm strong. It was a simple reason, but it explained everything. The reason why Su Long and the others were dead, but Lu Ming was still alive. It was because Lu Ming was strong, and he was stronger, which was why he was still alive. Haha, you're strong? Su Long is a 4th-layer martial emperor. You're just an ant from the Savage Island. You just broke through to the martial emperor realm not long ago. How dare you say you're strong? What a joke. Let's see how strong you are. Men, take him down. Yinfeng shouted loudly. As soon as Yinfeng finished speaking, 2 young men of the Dragon Punishing Palace dashed out from behind him, each holding a dragon binding chain in their hands. They lunged at Lu Ming and yelled, "Surrender!" Scram! Lu Ming bellowed and took a few steps forward. The 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps burst out, causing the ground to tremble. The ground started to ripple like water. A terrifying power surged towards the 2 youths from the Dragon Punishment Palace. Boom! Boom! The bodies of the 2 youths of the Dragon Punishment Palace shook violently. Their faces were filled with shock. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and were sent flying. So strong! Many people were shocked. Lu Ming had managed to injure 2 3rd-layer martial dominator realm young men of the Dragon Punishing Palace, with just a few steps. How bold, you dare to resist the arrest. Die. Someone uttered a roar behind Yinfeng. A few figures dashed forward with ferocious auras. Before they arrived, a powerful gust of wind swept in Lu Ming's direction. 4th-layer martial dominator realm. 3 4th-layer martial dominator realm experts lunged at Lu Ming. Piss off. Lu Ming's eyes flickered as he uttered a roar and lashed out with his fists. Bang! 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 Streams of fist intent seemed to be able to penetrate the void as they headed toward the 3 4th-layer martial dominators of the Dragon Punishing Palace. The terrifying fist intent instantly shattered the attacks and defenses of the 3 youths of the Dragon Punishment Palace. Their figures shuddered violently as they were sent flying like kites with their strings cut. They flew out of the entrance of the Cloud Dragon Valley and crashed heavily onto the ground. Gasps could be heard from the crowd. 3 4th-layer martial dominator realm cultivators of the Dragon Punishment Palace were injured and sent flying with a single attack. How strong was his strength? Su Long, who was a mere 4th-layer martial dominator realm cultivator. At that instant, they recalled Lu Ming's words. Because I'm strong. That's right, because Lu Ming was strong, Lu Ming was still alive, but Su Long and his crew were dead. Damn it, damn it. Yinfeng let out a furious roar in his heart as his eyes flickered with jealousy. It had been a while since they last met, and Lu Ming had grown stronger. How did a mere ant from a desolated island become so strong? This caused Yinfeng to feel a chill deep within his heart. The stronger Lu Ming was, the greater the danger he would face. He could not allow Lu Ming to grow stronger. This man is lawless, harming his fellow disciples like a demon. And now he dares to injure the people of the Dragon Punishment Palace. He deserves to die. Everyone, I suggest we kill him on the spot as a warning to the others. Yinfeng's voice could be heard. That's right, kill him on the spot. A cold voice could be heard. More than 10 experts of the Dragon Punishment Palace charged out from Yinfeng's back, unleashing powerful auras. 2 of them were peak 6th-layer martial dominators, while the rest were 5th-layer and 4th-layer martial dominators. There were so many powerful figures, and they wanted to kill Lu Ming on the spot. Kill! A young man of the peak 6th-layer martial dominator realm uttered a roar as his figure sprang toward Lu Ming like a dragon. A ferocious aura suppressed Lu Ming's figure. Lu Ming's eyes glistened. A peak 6th-layer martial dominator realm cultivator was way stronger than his strength. As Lu Ming was about to fight with all his might, a white figure suddenly appeared in front of Lu Ming and threw a punch at the young man of the peak 6th-layer martial dominator realm. The punch was not huge, but it was emitting a destructive aura. Bang! One of the arms of the young man at the peak of the 6th-layer martial dominator realm exploded. He was sent flying over 1,000 meters and slammed heavily onto the ground. Bang! Bang. Following this, the figure threw over 10 punches in a row, sending the experts of the Dragon Punishment Palace flying while uttering cries of agony and vomiting mouthfuls of blood. Let's see who dares to be disrespectful in the Cloud Dragon Valley. A delicate yell could be heard. 8th Senior Sister. Lu Ming was startled. The person who had appeared out of nowhere and severely injured the experts of the Dragon Punishment Palace was Lu Ming's 8th Senior Sister, Xuaningxin. She was a snow dragon. Junior brother, are you all right? Xuaningxin asked in a concerned tone. I'm fine. Lu Ming shook his head. What are you doing? How dare you injure the people of the Dragon Punishment Palace? How dare you? Yinfeng pointed at Xuaningxin and snapped. Shut up. Xuaningxin snapped furiously with a cold expression. You've trespassed in the Cloud Dragon Valley and dared to kidnap my junior brother. If you take another step forward, I won't just injure them, I'll smash your heads into pieces. A cold murderous intent burst out from Xuaningxin's body. Many swallowed their saliva. How imperious. She would smash their heads into pieces if they took another step forward. That was the definition of being lawless. Lu Ming could not help but touch his nose. He had not expected his senior sister to be so imperious. He suddenly felt that he was being too kind. Xuaningxin, the Dragon Punishment Palace is just doing our job. Your junior brother has committed a heinous crime by killing his fellow disciples. The evidence is clear. He must be brought to the Dragon Punishment Palace to be punished. A young man of the Dragon Punishment Palace standing beside Yinfeng spoke while emitting a shocking aura. Chapter 1490. This time, even a 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert was involved. This showed how determined Yinfeng was to kill Lu Ming. Killing a fellow disciple? How ridiculous. My junior brother only killed a piece of trash. What's the big deal? It's only a waste of resources to let him stay in the Dragon Valley. It's better to kill him now. Xuaningxin said coldly. The crowd stared with their eyes open wide. What kind of logic was that? This was really too domineering, too arrogant. You, the 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert, and Yinfeng were stunned. They had no idea how to respond to Xuaningxin's words. She was being unreasonable. Now piss off. Otherwise, I'll kick you out one by one. Xuaningxin snapped. Xuaningxin, it seems like you're going to interfere today. I'll take you down too. The 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert said coldly as a terrifying aura burst out from his body, suppressing Xuaningxin's figure. Bang. A powerful aura burst out from Xuaningxin's body too. 5th-layer martial dominator realm. Everyone could tell that Xuaningxin's cultivation was only at the 5th-layer martial dominator realm, but her aura was extremely shocking, as she was able to face the 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert head-on. Thousand Mountain Fist kill. The 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert uttered a roar as he stepped forward and threw a punch in Xuaningxin's direction. As the punch was thrown, it felt like a huge mountain had appeared in the sky, crushing down onto Xuaningxin. Roar. At that instant, a shocking dragon cry could be heard from Xuaningxin's figure, causing her aura to grow stronger. Xuaningxin threw a punch forward too. Xuaningxin's fist seemed to have turned into ice, exuding a terrifying chill. Bang! Xuaningxin's punch collided with the mountain. A terrifying explosion took place at the scene. Following this, the mountain was frozen before exploding, causing a terrifying icy aura to spread in all directions. The temperature of the place dropped rapidly. Those with weaker cultivations shuddered as their bodies were covered in a layer of frost. The 7th-layer martial dominator realm expert and Xuaningxin both shuddered and were knocked backward. How powerful! Monster! Many people thought the same thing and looked at Xuaningxin in shock. Lu Ming's eyes also revealed a look of surprise. Xuaningxin's combat ability was beyond his imagination. Xuaningxin was only a cultivator of the 5th Huangqi layer, but she was able to fight against a cultivator of the 7th Huangqi layer. A cultivator of the 7th Huangqi layer was already a high-level Huangqi layer. In a sect like the Dragon God Valley, a high-level martial monarch was already considered a middle-level power. Again. Xuaningxin retreated with excitement in her eyes. A dragon's roar came from her body, and a white shadow of a snow dragon appeared above her head. This senior sister is really warlike. Lu Ming could not help but think. He remembered the first time he met Xuaningxin. Xuaningxin punched him without any warning. Stop. Just then, an old man appeared in the sky. His powerful aura filled the entire place, causing everyone to feel a terrifying pressure on their bodies. A Saint Realm expert. Without a doubt, the old man in the sky was a Saint Realm expert. The old man was wearing a long robe with a golden dragon on it, similar to what the people of the Dragon Punishing Palace were wearing. The Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace. Greetings, Elder. As expected, the young men of the Dragon Punishing Palace greeted the old man. The others followed suit. As soon as the Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace arrived, Xuaningxin and the 7th layer Huangqi layer stopped fighting. What's going on? The Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace asked with a frown. Previously, he had been informed that many experts of the Dragon Punishing Palace had gathered at the Cloud Dragon Valley. Thus he had immediately rushed over and witnessed the battle between Xuaningxin and the experts of the Dragon Punishing Palace. Elder, I mean Feng, the grandson of the Silver Dragon Valley's leader. Feng was the first to announce his name. He then said, "This is what happened. This Lu Ming killed his fellow disciples and stole their treasures. He has committed a heinous crime. The senior brothers of the Dragon Punishing Palace and I are going to capture him." Killed his fellow disciples? The eyes of the Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace flickered coldly as he glanced at Lu Ming and said, "Is that true?" Feng's dogmouth is just randomly biting people. Lu Ming said calmly. Lu Ming, what did you say? Feng glared at Lu Ming. How dare Lu Ming call him a dog? Dog, silver dog. Lu Ming said calmly. Feng's face darkened as he brought his fists together toward the Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace and said, "Elder, this man has killed his fellow disciples. The evidence is clear. I've already sent someone to collect the evidence. I hope you can handle it fairly. Otherwise, the people of the Dragon God Valley will be disappointed." Lu Ming, what do you have to say? The Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace glanced at Lu Ming. Of course I have something to say, as Su Long is being controlled by someone. Afterward, Lu Ming recounted the mission of this trip to him. This time, he explained it more clearly than the last time. Of course, Lu Ming skipped over some important points or modified them slightly. For example, the Demon Soul Elder had chased after Lu Ming and had his physical body destroyed by Lu Ming with the prison-suppressing steel. Lu Ming did not mention this point. He only said that the other party had been seriously injured and could not catch up to him. What did you say? The Evil Spirit Sect. When Lu Ming finished speaking, a terrifying aura spread out from the Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace, and a trace of fear appeared in his eyes. Yes, Elder. Lu Ming bowed, but he was shocked in his heart. When Lu Ming mentioned the Evil Spirit Sect, fear appeared in the eyes of this Sage Realm Elder. This kind of fear was the same as Su Long's back then. It was reverence from the bottom of his heart. He swept his gaze again, and discovered that many disciples of the Dragon God Valley also revealed fear in their eyes after hearing about the Evil Spirit Sect. An Elder of the Evil Spirit Sect. An Elder of the Evil Spirit Sect is actually still alive? Could it be that the Evil Spirit Sect is going to rise from the ashes? The Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace muttered to himself, the fear in his eyes growing stronger. Lu Ming, nonsense. The Evil Spirit Sect was wiped out by the combined forces of countless factions on the continent 80,000 years ago. What Evil Spirit Sect, Elder? Living for 80,000 years? It's all bullshit. Now there is no proof. You can make up whatever you want. Feng shouted, his eyes flashing with a sinister look. Today, he had to take this opportunity to kill Lu Ming. At the very least, he had to cripple Lu Ming's cultivation. Lu Ming, do you have any witnesses for everything you said? Do you have evidence to prove that everything you said is true? Can you prove your innocence? The Elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace took a deep breath and calmed himself down. He looked at Lu Ming again. The evidence is very simple. There are still many people in the Feng family alive. There must be someone who knows the inside story. Find the people of the Feng family and ask them. Then, you will know whether what I said is true or false. Chapter 1491. Hee hee. At this moment, Yin Feng let out a hollow laugh and said, I don't think there's a need to go to the Feng clan. I've already brought my men there, but I found out that the Feng clan had been massacred. After saying this, Yin Feng's icy gaze glanced at Lu Ming. Lu Ming, you're so ruthless and decisive, leaving no evidence behind. The meaning behind his words was clear. Yin Feng was referring to the fact that Lu Ming had massacred the Feng clan. The Feng clan had been massacred. Lu Ming glanced at Yin Feng, his eyes flickering coldly. Needless to say, the Feng clan had been massacred by Yin Feng, as he was afraid that Lu Ming would ask the Feng clan to testify against Lu Ming's words. Such a ruthless move. To deal with Lu Ming, he had massacred the Feng clan, and now he was accusing Lu Ming of massacring the Feng clan. A cold grin appeared on Yin Feng's face as he glanced at Lu Ming with a mocking gaze. Let's see how you're going to prove yourself. Yin Feng laughed coldly in his heart. Yin Feng, you've really put in a lot of effort to deal with me, massacring the Feng clan, destroying the evidence and framing me. I know you hate me. Previously, I stepped on your face 9 times in front of everyone. In the Tsangdi secret ground, you were beaten to the point where you were forced to kneel in front of me. It's understandable that you're trying to take revenge on me. Lu Ming let out a faint smile, casually pushing the blame to Yin Feng, saying that Yin Feng had framed him in order to take revenge on him. Bullshit. Yin Feng's face turned dark. Bullshit, many people saw it. How am I bullshitting? If you're so capable, kill them all. Lu Ming let out a faint smile. The elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace frowned his eyebrows. Both Lu Ming and Yin Feng had their own reasons. He did not know who to listen to. Elder, Yin Feng hired a fellow disciple to tamper with the mission, intending to have Su Long, Duan Yan and the others kill me during the mission. After that, he massacred the entire Feng family and framed me. This person is insane, he must be punished severely. Lu Ming cupped his fists at the Dragon Punishing Palace's elder, putting Yin Feng in a checkmate. You're talking nonsense. You're slandering me. Yin Feng roared. Slander? If you want to know the truth, it's very simple. As long as I take you down and search your soul, the truth will naturally come to light, Lu Ming said as he strode towards Yin Feng. What do you want? You want to kill me to silence me? Yin Feng shouted. Stop. A figure stepped forward and stood in front of Lu Ming. It was the 7th layer Martial Dominator Realm young man from the Dragon Punishing Palace. Your opponent is me. Xuanixin appeared and threw a punch at the young man of the Dragon Punishing Palace. The young man from the Dragon Punishment Palace had no choice but to fight Xuanixin. On the other hand, Lu Ming continued to move toward Yin Feng. Attack, kill this man. Yin Feng yelled. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The young men who had followed Yin Feng here lunged at Lu Ming. Piss off. Lu Ming let out a roar as the black feather wings appeared. With a flap, 5 young men were sent flying while vomiting mouthfuls of blood. In the air, the elder of the Dragon Punishing Palace raised his eyebrows. He was about to intervene when a voice entered his ears, causing his figure to come to a stop. Bang! Lu Ming cast the Wind Essence skill. With a step, his speed increased tremendously as he dashed toward Yin Feng. Go back! Kill! At least 10 young men dashed toward Lu Ming. Some of them were peak 5th layer Martial Dominator Realm experts. Buzz! The 3rd grade Chaotic Domain was unleashed, encapsulating the young men within it. The young men instantly felt a terrifying pressure crushing their bodies, as if their bones were about to break. Those with weaker cultivations fell to the ground and vomited mouthfuls of blood. Following this, Lu Ming lashed out a punch with a terrifying force, sending a few peak Martial Dominator Realm experts flying. Many among the crowd inhaled deeply. Lu Ming was only a 2nd layer Martial Dominator Realm expert, but even a peak 5th layer Martial Dominator Realm expert was no match for Lu Ming, and was sent flying by Lu Ming's attack. Lu Ming's figure approached Yin Feng at lightning speed. Yin Feng's face turned pale as he frantically backed off. He had not expected Lu Ming to be so daring as to try to search his soul. If he were to search his soul, the truth would be revealed. There was no way he would let Lu Ming capture him. However, Lu Ming's speed was too fast. The young men who had followed him had no chance of stopping Lu Ming. Son of a bitch, Don't you dare. At this moment, a furious bellow could be heard from the depths of the sky. The voice was like that of a deity. Then, a big hand reached down from the clouds and grabbed Lu Ming. The terrifying pressure froze Lu Ming in place, rendering Lu Ming immobile. Valley Master Yinlong. Lu Ming yelled furiously. Lu Ming could tell that the person who had attacked him was Valley Master Yinlong. A dignified Valley Master actually attacked Lu Ming, a junior. Yinzheng, you're getting worse and worse. How dare you attack my disciple in front of the Cloud Dragon Valley? Do you think I'm invisible? A gentle voice could be heard from the depths of the Cloud Dragon Valley. Following that, a sword ray shot out explosively and slashed down at the enormous hand. The enormous hand was directly cleaved into two, and then burst apart. Yinruoxu. A thunderous voice could be heard from high up in the sky. Following this, a silver light flashed and an old man appeared. It was Valley Master Yinlong. When Valley Master Yinlong appeared, he looked into the depths of the Cloud Dragon Valley. In the Cloud Dragon Valley, an old man stepped on the clouds. It was Valley Master Yinlong. Ming, do what you have to do. When Valley Master Yinlong appeared, his voice could be heard. His intention was clear. He wanted Lu Ming to continue taking down Yinfeng. Junior, how dare you? Valley Master Yinlong looked coldly at Lu Ming. I'm so scared. Lu Ming pursed his lips and flapped his black wings. With a gust of wind, he charged towards Yinfeng. Grandfather, save me! Yinfeng screamed. How dare you? Valley Master Yinlong roared, and a terrifying dragon roar could be heard from his body. A silver-white light shot up into the sky and his aura was terrifying. Yinzheng, if you want to fight, I'll accompany you. Valley Master Yinlong took a step forward, and suddenly appeared in front of Valley Master Yinlong. He slashed his sword at Valley Master Yinlong. The slash was simple, but Valley Master Yinlong's expression changed. Silver light exploded and he fought Valley Master Yinlong. Boom. When the two of them clashed, the entire sky seemed to be split apart by the sword light and silver light. The vast aura made everyone breathless. Is this the strength of the Valley Master? He's so strong. Many people were shocked. Let's fight! Valley Master Yinlong's voice could be heard as he charged into the void with Valley Master Yinlong. As for Lu Ming, he continued to charge towards Yinfeng. The few youths who were protecting Yinfeng were sent flying. No matter how fast Yinfeng retreated, his speed was much slower than Lu Ming's. Chua! Lu Ming appeared in front of Yinfeng, and his chaotic domain crushed down on him. Yinfeng spat out a mouthful of blood. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.